Hey you guys, it's Dani. We're back again. This is what we got left. Hopefully we can finish out with this one. Although you guys have definitely seemed to enjoyed it, I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. So I'm kind of sad that it's almost over, but at the same time, I am glad to get my space back in order. Honestly, I gotta pick up. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into this. That way we can hopefully get through the rest of these and be accomplished and done. So let's start with the shelf. We have the top one that we had left. It's not super full, so we are going to just grab them. Ow. And go. Okay. So, let's start with this. This is the Earth, Moon, and Shadow Oracle. This is by Serafina, artwork by Kat Amsel. I thoroughly enjoy reading with this oracle. It's got all kinds of like little extra spread cards, which I love. Matter of fact, that needs to go in here. In my tarot spread box. I usually put those in my little miscellaneous. Like I have some from the Inner Witch Oracle that we looked through. I like to keep these in there. So I'm going to stick that in there. So I don't forget yet again. But anyway. These are beautiful cards. Really really great keywords. Because we get, like, hidden places, and then we get some keywords at the bottom. I'm sorry, hidden paths. Awareness, mindfulness, self-mastery. Love this, like, portal at the end. The images in this deck are beautiful. They're good for, like, path working in some ways as well. They do, at least for me, bring a really big feel with this. Like, look at this shadow and light. It says demons, shadow self, and integration. There's like some really big concepts in here. And it's just really well done. Isn't that beautiful? Ugh. I really enjoy this deck. Up next is the Tarot Marseilles. This is the Black Keys edition. Another one that I really enjoy for Marseilles. It is rather, I guess typical, you would say, of a Marseilles. But we do get some black backgrounds. But everything is very clear and crisp. It's not like the other Marseilles that sometimes have the old printing style that shows it outside the lines. These are actually really crisp and clean. Show you some of the, yeah. Our majors are all done with a black background. This is our Ace of Cups. I just find this one nice. It's easy to work with. I enjoy the black backgrounds. Like, I didn't notice how many decks I have that have, like, black backgrounds, but I'm starting to realize that I have quite a few. Matter of fact, Intuitive Night Goddess. Same idea. All the black backgrounds. I love this little deck. I was kind of thinking that the Candle in the Cave Tarot might have taken the place of this. Like, as I've been using it, I was like, oh my goodness, is this going to take the place of my Intuitive Night Goddess? Because, I don't know, it has similar fields, although there are feels, but also there are masculine figures in Candle in the Cave, where these are mostly feminine figures. So, and it is totally different. They're both on dark backgrounds. They both have similar feels, but I don't think one trumps the other, at least not yet, you know? Because looking through it, I'm like, yeah, it is completely different, but they remind me of each other. So I think these are going to be ones that I will kind of play with and see where that brings me. As of right now, though, I feel like they both have a place still. God, this is so good. I love doing readings with this deck, especially for others. I just find it so clear. I love the imagery. I enjoy the backgrounds a lot. I know they seem like, oh, it's just some white dots, but it's so much more than that. It's all about what's going on underneath and in here. I do like that about this deck, where I think Candle in the Cave is a lot simpler. So, yeah. I was kind of worried about that, but I don't think I'll have an issue, at least not right now. But yeah, another one with black backgrounds. I don't know, I guess I'm kind of drawn towards those without realizing it much. Okay, let me put this back in the box so I don't knock all the cards everywhere. Next, Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea. So this is a strange and unusual deck, which y'all know I enjoy. But I did use this to read for my Mystic fam, and it was like, okay. And I think what it is that now I realize this is very similar to the Dang Olsen Tarot. I know it's like not, but it is. I don't know. I feel like when I want this energy, I kind of have a few different things that I could go towards that have the same type of energy. The keywords are pretty cool. But honestly, reading with it, I was like, okay with it. Like, I don't know. I feel like I can't express myself properly right now. I don't know. I just don't think it's quite for me. But it is weird and cool. Like, there's so much going on. It almost reminds me of the Surrealist Tarot in that way. The Dang Olsen. There's like another one that I'm thinking of, but I can't remember the name of it. Maybe I'll come across it, or maybe I already went through it. Anyway, I don't know. I'm up in the air with this one, so I think I'm gonna put this one aside into a maybe pile, because like a part of me says I'm not gonna read with this, and then another part of me says, but it's kind of weird and cool. I don't know pile. Ooh, the Tempest Tarot deck. So this little tarot, look at this, look at these backs. I love it. This is such a great piratey, mermaidy, seafarer deck. It is pippish, but it is so well done. Look at these drawings. Oop. Look at that 8 of Cups. Just fell out. Isn't that beautiful? So it's not pip, but I find it pippish. I love this World card. Oh, man. But, like, some of them aren't. You see, it's kind of like, I guess it's like a mixed bag. But I find it so well done, and I don't have a lot of, like, really oceany, watery decks that I enjoy, because I don't, like, I love the water. I love those, I don't know, I love those kind of decks that have this, like, wave kind of flowing through it, where it just feels like it kind of washes you away. I do like that. But I find so many just don't follow my aesthetic. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know if I want to see, like, I don't know, sea turtles and coral and fish. You know, I don't really want to see dolphins and whales. I just want to have a watery feel. And so I have the Mermaid Tarot by Dame Darcy. But as strange as it is, it doesn't feel super watery to me. It's like of its time. I don't know, it has like a different one. But this one really does that for me. Along with, let me show you guys this one. Wisdom of the Depths Tarot. These two, I feel like, capture my aesthetic and capture that kind of ocean vibe for me without it being so... I don't know. I'm going to say... I mean this in the best way. Like, so Florida. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, you go, if you guys have ever been to Florida and stayed at, you know, any resort, any Airbnb, whatever, everything has an ocean theme. It's seashells and starfish and, I don't know, tropicals. Like, I don't want to see that. I want to feel the ocean, but not in that way. I don't know. These do that for me because the aesthetic is there. It's oceany, but it's not home decor art, you know, like style. Like there's a dolphin in here, but it's not just dolphins and sunsets, you know? And I love the vintage style of it. So it's a yes all the way around. It still has a coastal feel, but more like what I want to see, you know? So these two are like my main watery decks. Okay. Tarot Bosch. Love this deck. It is done in a Bosch style in the same way that the Albert Dürer was done. I know some people don't care for it. Look, I love this too. Oh, it makes me laugh every time I see it. Every time I see it. It's just so... I don't know. It's like strange and odd, but it makes me laugh. Like, it gives me the giggles in some of these images. Yeah, I know some people don't like when Lo Scarabeo puts out those kind of decks where it's like based on someone's art instead of using their art, but I really enjoy it because it's like, it's almost like having the Universal Dolly Tarot where it's like Dolly actually did that one, which is awesome, but these feel like, I mean, I think they're well done. I think it really does feel like if Bosch were to do a tarot that it would feel like this. So I don't know, I'm here for it. It's strange and unusual, it's silly, it's cheeky, and it's got some cute little tatas in there. Look at that. I think it's great. And I love the size of these because they're a little narrower than regular tarot size, and I thoroughly enjoy that. Ooh, now we have the Goblin Tarot, another one that goes nowhere. This fun little deck stole my heart. It is a surprisingly good reader. And as silly as it is, it's really good at delivering some serious messages, which I always enjoy, because there are some tarot decks where, like, I'm going to be honest, like, I can't take them super seriously. They're not meant to be taken seriously. This is still a hobby. It's still for fun. So that's okay. But, like, when you're looking for a reading that feels like it wants to go a little darker and you just don't feel it in some of those. But with this, you can get some really serious readings out of it that don't feel like they have a silly tone. I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just that, like, this one for me doesn't feel as silly as it seems, I guess, is the best way to describe it. And I guess it's all about, you know, perspective and who you're reading for and what you're reading. But, like, it's fun and it's a good reader. And that's a win-win in my book. And, of course, they have references to Harry Potter if you've been paying attention to the wands that I show. And so that makes it even more fun for me. This is a great deck. I never hear anyone talking about it. I feel like it is so underrated. It's such a great deck. It's such a great deck, so check it out. Okay. Oh, next. I want to talk about this Olympus Tarot. Okay, harken back in the time machine to one of the earlier ones. It might have been the first one that we discussed when I was still on this bookshelf, maybe, that I kept getting cards, like the 10 of coins with the tree and the portal kind of thing. And I couldn't remember, or I couldn't find the other one that I was talking about. It's in the Olympus Tarot. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. Another fantastic Lo Scarabeo deck with their kind of typical hypersexualized artwork, you know? That's pretty typical of Lo Scarabeo decks from back in the day. Check out these backs. So let me see if I can find it. This has reference to, of course, Mount Olympus, Zeus, and all of the other gods and goddesses, and all the monsters there in between. I'm trying to find this card so I can show you guys. Some of the expressions, y'all, look at this. I love it. Yeah, so a lot of the myths and creatures show up in here. Where is it? Some of the nudity is extra in here. Oh, I found it. This one. Do you see the portal in the tree with all the fruit hanging? I'm telling you, a ton of them popped up back whenever that was. And so this was the other deck that did that. But yeah. So there we have, oh, maybe I won't show that one of just a naked woman lying on a beach. But yeah, all in all, I mean, there's nothing, I'm going to be honest, there's nothing spectacular about this deck. There isn't. But, I like it. I like it just fine. This one isn't one that I would be like, oh my god, everyone needs this deck. It's okay. But, like, I enjoy it. It's fine. I like, this kind of style of Lo Scarabeo decks. And I don't know why, because I'm not particularly fond of the artwork. But there's something about it that just feels, I don't know, like 90s, you know, back closet witchery. I don't know. Like, it's the ones that I remember seeing, I guess. Tarot Decarlatides. Love this little deck. Love it, love it, love it, love it. It has got some pop culture and historical references. It is done in this delicate lined art. It's like very delicately lined. Everything looks very dainty to me, I think is the best way to describe it. I like the quirky style. I don't know, this is one I thoroughly enjoy the art and the reference, and just the cuteness of it all. I don't know, I just feel like it adds a layer of kind of like cuteness and color to my normally kind of strange and dull aesthetic, maybe? I don't know. Regardless, this is an enjoyable deck. It is absolutely enjoyable. Okay. Le Tarot de Marseille par Polka. This deck, y'all. Okay. Some of you love it and some of you hate it, and I totally get it. There are umbilical cords and drippy blood and strange characters abound. It has some quite shocking imagery. But the quirkiness is what sells me on it. Like, it is a quirky kind of scary. And I love it. I get it. I'm here for it. So I know this is definitely not everyone's taste. As is anything. But this one especially. But it's a favorite of mine. I like it. I was giving myself a lot of credit thinking that I'm going to go through all this really quickly. I'm already at 30 minutes. Okay. Next is Guided Hand Tarot. This is another collage deck. One that I traded for. I love these colors. Probably what drew me to it, actually. It was like a softer feel to this kind of art. Really great textures and colors. Really fun collages here. So cool. I've used this a few times, but I still feel like I'm getting to know it. Like, I still feel like there's so much to gain from this deck. It's one that I am excited to keep using, you know? Like, just looking through it, I'm just like, oh, man. Yeah, you know? I guess that's a good thing. You know, you made a good choice when you just get excited every time. Okay, let's get this top shelf down. Oh, let's just talk about this one. Y'all know I love this deck. This is the Mini Queens Tarot. This is a black and white deck. Really funky art. All different bodies. Just some crazy swirls all over the place. This is just, I mean, this deck is just cool. Like, it's just really cool to me. I I love it. I've even taken some, like if I pull some cards for myself, sometimes I will scan the cards in and put them in my journals and like color them. So like I kind of play with it that way where I get to like color these images in. And so I don't know. I've only ever done it with this deck. It just, I guess it lends itself to that. And I really enjoy how excited it makes me, because it does make me feel really creative as well. It's like I see these things and I get excited. So I think that's why I love it so much and I keep it around. I mean, do we even need to talk about the Druidcraft Tarot? It's a classic. It's my classic. I love this deck. So this one you can see I took all the borders as well as the titles off to where they are just the image. But I do have that big copy that we talked about. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. Probably not. But I did this with a shiny gold ink pad that I got at, I think, Joann's or something. And it has the coolest shimmer and edging on it now. I love that little thing. Because it looks like it was made that way. Like, that's what kind of, like, glittery sheen it puts on there. Anyway, this is not craft talk. But, yeah, so this is the one that I have fully trimmed, and then I have one that has never been touched. So if I want the whole shebang, I have it. But if not, I just stick to this one. This one is she old. She old. These last four from the shelf are oracles. So we have Woodland Wardens. I love the aesthetics of this deck. I have been following this artist as she went through each one. Look, it's on the top. There's a possum in here. And she's beautiful. Oh my God, I love it. But just in general, the whole aesthetic of this is so scrumptious to me. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. This is like, it has it all. Her artwork is just awe-inspiring to me. And it's all those like autumn tones. Look at this. Oh, it's so beautiful. I could go on and on about this. Got a little gator. I know it's not a gator, but I say it's a gator. And look at the skunk and the magnolia. How beautiful is this, y'all? Every time I look at it, I'm just like, oh, I love it so much. Look at the raccoon. And then we have like curiosity here. So not only the art, as I am gushing about the art, her keywords are really great as well. And you do get every animal and every flower or, you know, whatever on the card. It's, I don't know, it's really well done. Well, it's creased. So I know I read the guidebook at one point, but I can't quite remember, if I'm being honest, because you see it's bent. So I've been in there, but I don't remember it much. Oh, they have some like journaling questions in here for each of them. Meaning, upright and reverse, and then like 2 questions for each card to kind of think about. So yeah, a nice little guidebook too. I don't remember reading it at all, but apparently I did. Okay. This Beltane Oracle. I want to love it more than I do. This one is not my favorite, but I do like to keep it. I would like to have like the whole Wheel of the Year. And it's not that I don't like the keywords or don't like the whatever. I just find the bees all the way through to be very distracting for some reason, and I don't know why. I guess because I wasn't expecting it, because like none of the other ones do that. And I think we talked about this already, probably. So like maybe that's why I find it so distracting. I don't know. That's really the only complaint that I have, is the bee theme through it just feels really distracting for some reason. It feels maybe more like a bee oracle than a Beltane. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Regardless, I'm still keeping it. My legs keep falling asleep today. I don't know what my problem is. We're 40 minutes in. That's probably what my problem is. Okay. Mists of Avalon Oracle. I go back and forth with this deck, but then I'm telling you, I'm going to start flipping through and be like, I really like it. Because this happens to me every time. I won't use it. I won't even think about it. I'll, glaze over it. But every time I pull it out, I'm like, God, this is a really good deck. So prepare yourself. I don't use it much, as I said, but I always tend to get really excited every time I look at it. Dragon. So here's the thing. I keep going back and forth as to how much I like the keywords on all four sides. Sometimes it's beneficial in a spread if almost like if you go into it with this is going to be my theme or my main card, and then kind of go around it and kind of use the keywords as, on this side, it's about sanctuary. On this side, it's about creative force. Under, it's about Mother Earth. On the side, it's about flow. Almost like use it as your center card for your spread. If you go in there intentional, I think it's really good. But sometimes I feel like I'm almost distracted by, I don't know, maybe by where the keywords are. It's like I don't quite know where I want to look. Because they all have a little bit of a different feel to it. Okay, the Sacred Union. It has vitality at the top, sexuality at the bottom, fertility on this side, and then growth on this side. And yes, you can take all that into consideration, yada yada. But it does feel like it pulls to one side or the other. And it's I feel like when I'm looking at it, it's I never know where I'm gonna go. So sometimes it feels a little distracting because I feel like I have to feel out each keyword and where it is in the energy. And that's just me being complicated when I read, because I don't know. I just feel like sometimes it can be distracting. So I will say that, but I do really enjoy the artwork. I do really enjoy the keywords. I think it's pretty well done, honestly. I don't know an extreme amount about the Avalon myth, but I don't feel like I need to dig into it to use this, if that makes any sense. Okay, and then we have the absolutely gorgeous Heavenly Bodies Astrology. I love the way that she did this deck. This was done by Lily Ashwell. I love the softness of it. I love everything about this deck. I don't use it incredibly often because I don't deal with astrology on a very deep level, but every time I use it, I thoroughly enjoy it. It's definitely one that I like to keep around for when I'm doing my birth chart, or, you know, Jacob's or Linen's, because I'm constantly working on ours. I find it really fascinating because I feel like we can kind of dig deep on our personalities, and we can see where it flows and where it doesn't, and why that would be. It's just so much fun to play around with. So when I do stuff like that, I tend to gravitate towards these. So it's like, I don't use this as a, I guess you would say, like a practical oracle, like one that I would use on a daily basis. But when I do those kind of projects, I love having this because it just adds an extra layer. It's a lot of fun. It also has a really nice guidebook, by the way. Okay. Yikes, we are at 46 minutes. Jeez. Can we do it? Can we do it, y'all? I don't know if we can. Oh, this one doesn't have many. Let's talk about these. These are all staying. I love these. The Curious Travelers. This is a good one. I love the feel of this cardstock, first and foremost. This has this like matte foiling, I guess. I don't even know what to call it, on the gold in this deck. And it's probably my favorite thing ever. Because it's like subtle. You see that? Look at these cups. It almost looks like in person, you know those things like you would scratch off with a coin? That's kind of what it looks like. The artwork is so pretty too. I love the sharp angles. Watch this next one, we'll show it. I love this. I love these like sharp angles. I just feels like, look at that tower. Ugh. I don't know, I just feel like it adds a quirkiness to it that I really enjoy. It's a really good reader too. I've read for myself, I've read for others. Yeah, it's a good reader, and it's beautiful. I love it. And then we have Fifth Spirit. Another modern deck that is done in a way that I really enjoy. So it's very Pippish. In the way that it's done. But I really enjoy the simplicity of it. I feel like it's modern without being, I don't know, harsh in the modernism. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. I don't know. It's like we see familiar things, but in a softer way, maybe, where it doesn't take you out of the sometimes otherness of a tarot reading, I guess, is the best way to put it. Oh, and the Pussycat Tarot. I love this deck. I love this deck. I just really enjoy the look and feel of this deck. I really don't have an explanation for that. I just do. This is another one with those dark backgrounds. On some of them, of course, but like it has like a black border. I don't know why I love this deck so much, but I really, really do. I just really enjoy the artwork, I think. And I enjoy the concept of the real cats just being cats. And, you know, I mean, and a little extra, but, you know, just like cats being cats, man. I don't know, I like it. So funny. And you have these really cool backs that kind of go together in a different way, because you can play with this deck and you can look, you can play and divine with this deck. So there's like an extra layer of kind of funness to this one. We talked about Trionfi, didn't we? This is the illustrated edition. I feel like we already talked about this though, because we did talk about all of the other Patrick Valenza that I have. This is just the illustrated edition, so we'll put that over there. Ooh, y'all, we may actually do this. Okay. Lonely Dreamer Tarot. Superb. Love. Linen cardstock. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And it's beautiful. It has very abstract vibes, even though it's not. I don't know, I just feel like these images are very, not all of them, of course, but some of them leave a very open interpretation of what could be going on or what you're seeing, and I really love that. Look, there's another one on the L'Ombre. Another whole portal into the unknown. Yeah, I don't know, these are just... they're so beautiful. Like, you see what I mean? Like, the abstractness of this. I really enjoy that so much. Love this star. Love this star. Look at this hermit. Oh, this is a beautiful deck. I love using it too. It does have a very seriousness about it. I feel like it's almost like walking down a dark path with someone. I don't know. It's and they call it the Lonely Dreamer, and it really does feel that way, I guess, is the whole point of it. But it really does come across that way. Almost like being walked down a path with a guide is kind of what it feels like. Kind of, you never know where you're going to look, if it's going to be bright, if it's going to be dark, if it's going to be warm, or if it's going to be scary. It's so well done to me. I really like it. Oh, that's kind of the same vibes as the Tildwick Tarot. Gosh, this is such an amazing deck. So, here are the backs. It does have some pretty beat up gilding on this one. But this has a similar tone to the Lonely Dreamer, but it takes me more into a fae realm. And I say that if you guys have ever read or even watched, there's the it's on the BBC. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I watched it on like Netflix or something. Anyway, but it's produced by the BBC, but it's Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. That fae realm that's kind of built in that world is what this feels like to me. Whether you read it or you watch the show, it does it very, very well. It's almost like, for those of you who haven't seen or read that, if you've seen The Labyrinth, when they're at the masquerade ball, it's like that kind of vibe to it, you know? So everything kind of feels a little overgrown. almost like it's been there for so long, but it hasn't really been kept up. So there's a wildness about it. I think that's why it feels so fey. It's like something that was left, you know, for hundreds of years. I don't know. It's such a cool deck. There are no people in it, just places. Just kind of takes you around. I feel like you can get lost in these halls, you know, if you just sit here, even just flipping through it and just like taking in these spaces. Oh, superb. Superb. Xamertwin Oracle. Another one that I feel like we talked about, but maybe we didn't. But this is another Patrick Valenza. Typical style. And just very well done. I love this little oracle. I love it. I normally keep the guidebook pulled up on my phone because, like, I use this one mostly for me because I like to spread it out with a couple of other decks of his and kind of play around with spreads like that. So I pull up the PDF on my phone and I just look at it from there. For these, I like reading their little stories, and I find a lot of times that once I read it, I'll remember. Not all the time because my memory's not that good. But I don't mind having to look up the meanings for this because usually I'm doing this for me and just kind of playing around with these decks. That's what I like the most about these, is because like they make me really happy. So I like to play with them, I guess. And so not every deck feels that way to me. So I really don't mind having to read when I pull cards for something like that. Okay. And now for this beauty. Look, there we go. Never quite get the pronunciation right, so don't hold me to it. The Jonasa Jaus deck, maybe? I can never say it correctly, so whatever, but I love it. I don't remember what edition this is. Maybe the 3rd edition? Don't quote me. It doesn't say on my box. But these are the backs. And these are all hand cut. They're really long, as you can see. They're beautiful. And then I also have her PDF guidebook, which I printed out. I have it somewhere over here. I haven't gone through it all yet, but it's really cool reading about the types of flowers that are on here and the meanings and stuff. It's really cool. Sorry, they're every which way. So yeah, this is beautiful. This is mostly, I mean, I'm sure you can tell, but the colors are the purple, green, and gold. Because I know she changes the colors every time. So I don't know which version, but I think it might be the 3rd. I had to stretch. Okay, these two, Revival Art. Oh, I love these so much. I love them so much. They're beautiful. The cardstock, oh, scrumptious. I love it. It's very, like a soft matte. Oh, I knew it was gonna fall. But it makes all the colors so rich. It really does feel like looking at the actual piece of art because of the matte texture of it and just the vibrancy of the printing. It's just very impressive. Especially for cards this big, they're really easy to shuffle. Look at these backs. Oh, love that. You want to know what's crazy? I mostly use this for year aheads. I don't know what it is about the imagery that just feels, I don't know, broad stroke-ish. But it works really, really well for year ahead, or like, you know, zodiacal ones. One where you're looking at a long range of time. I feel like it works really well for that. And for just every day. But I particularly love it for that. So that was the first one. This is the second edition. So this one you can see has a different feel to it. Like, I will say, it's not like having a, I don't know, like a duplicated deck. It almost feels like a totally different time and space. So it's like, going into it, I was like, well, is it just kind of like repeating some of the images? But this is a totally new deck. So it doesn't feel like I have two of the same thing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's got a totally different feeling. I love this card so much. It's got a totally different feeling to all of the images. This one I find leans a little more toward angelic realms, I guess. Like, it has a little more of that religious feel to it. We see a lot of popes and nuns and little angels all through this. It feels a little more biblical. Look, here's a nun in her habit. But I do love these decks. They're so well done. Like, they're so well curated. And I thoroughly appreciate this. Okay, y'all, we're gonna go long because I have one left here. And 2, 4, 5. Okay, we got 6 left. We're gonna power through. This is it. Okay, next, the Secret Forest. Tarot of the Secret Forest. This is a really nifty little low Scarabeo deck. Here's what I don't like about it. I don't like the black edges on this deck because I don't care for the way that they're front and back. I don't care for the way the numbers and the symbols are. I don't know what it is about them that I just don't, I don't know, I don't like it. I don't like the look of it. So I did trim off the sides, but I've been toying with taking everything off. They had some really cool keywords that I wrote into the back side for each card. Did I write this one? No. I think I just did them for the, yeah. Down there at the bottom. This one says wound. I don't know, it's just a really interesting deck. So it's like I still want to modify it because I don't use it all that much because I don't like that. And I know that sounds so dumb, but that's just a Dani's brain thing. So I'm like, okay, I love these images and I love the little guidebook that's with it because it's got just a little white book, but it's a really good one. Like, it really flows with this deck. So I really do enjoy this deck. That's the only thing that always stops me. I'm just like, ugh, but I don't like that. I don't want to look at it. So I just need to do it and move on. Okay, so the Infernal Tarot. This one's kind of hard to open. I gotta shake it out. This little 2-piece box. I love the production quality of this thing. The type of like linen cardstock that it is, so nice. Bends really, really well, but it's like a matte finish. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. This is the only deck I have that feels like that. It almost feels like it would be on parchment paper, I guess, is the best way to describe the texture of this linen. I don't know. I find the production quality of this one to be just absolutely superb. Just superb. But you know what? I never read with this deck. I have flipped through it, I can't tell you how many times. And I absolutely love, like, look at this deck. I love these images. I love the whole style. But when I tell you I never reach for this deck, I never read with it, I don't know why. I think maybe I just need to take it out and use it. You know? Just like get a better feel for it. Because I don't reach for it at all. And I'm like, I feel like it's being wasted just sitting in there, being pretty, you know? Okay, now we have the Crimson Eye Tarot. I love this deck. So it is just red and black and white. It's a really cool style of art. I don't know, there's just something about it that draws me in. And it's like an RWS clone. I just really enjoy maybe like the graphic novel-y style. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I just dig it. Yeah, I knew this whole thing was all pretty much gonna stay. 'Cause up next is the Fyodor Pavlov. I always feel like I say that first name wrong. This is the most gorgeous tarot. Fight me. It's just so well done. This is the indie version. This is the this is the 2020 version. But I absolutely adore this deck. I love the art style. I love the diversity. I love the colors. I just enjoy the whole experience of this deck so much. And I feel like every time I read with it, I get such great readings. I like to do relationship readings with this deck. I feel like it just holds so much energy. Like, I guess because like so many different types of people are represented in this one that I feel like I can really get a good, like scope, you know? I don't know. It just makes it feel that way. Y'all know half of all these stops is because I'm stopping to drink for my coffee. I mean, I've been at this for over an hour. So, I'm over here sipping coffee. Anyway, we have 2 left. We have the Mythical Creatures Tarot. I love this deck. I have the bigger edition in the box. It's the it's not colored. It's like the black and white edition. I have that in there. It's big. It's one of the real big ones. So I don't really use that one, but I really love it. I love the look of it. But this thing is stunning. I love the way it was done. It's probably one of my favorite Marseilles decks. I love all the stories behind it. I haven't read through the entire guidebook yet, but I read snippets all the time. I really like having the big book for this one, because I do feel like it holds so much information about like what's on the card and the meanings and everything else. But I really enjoy what's on the card. I like to learn all that stuff. That's something that I will say for Baba Studios, is like the ones that I do really enjoy have so much to it. It's like it's got stories behind each and every one, and I really like that. I like the storytelling, I think, that's done. Is this the last one, you guys? This is the last one. The last one. The Augenblick Tarot. I love this deck. It works beautifully for past life readings, as do many kind of open landscape decks. But this one has like people spread in it, to where we're at these gorgeous places. But if you look closely, there are things going on as well. They're not completely devoid of people, in other words. We have life going on within the buildings, within the gardens, things like that. I think that's why I like this one so much. And some of them feel like you've stumbled upon a picture, you know, that you could find in your grandparents' attic, you know? And then these other grand places. So I really like the people element. And such beautiful, wide open landscapes that they have, and some of these are just breathtaking. I love seeing the architecture. I don't know, there's just so much to love about these, in my opinion. Oh, and the chariot. Isn't that gorgeous? Ugh. Oh, gotta show y'all this one. Love this Eight of Swords. Love it. Isn't that beautiful? Oh. So well done. So well done. Y'all, we did it. That's it. We're done. We're done. That was it. Dang. So as always, if I have links for anything, that's all going to be listed down below if you are looking for any of these decks. That's all going to be down there, as well as my link to my shop for anything that's going to be leaving my collection. I still have some more to put on there. So you can check that out if you want, as well as 3 Fat Readers and all my socials and all that good stuff. Y'all know the drill. It's all down there. And thanks so much for watching and hanging out with me, and hopefully getting all caffeinated up like I am. And we'll see each other very soon. Later, Gators.